Want to feel old? Pokemon is now 25 years old. So, to celebrate 2.5 decades of Pokemon, let's talk about their model kits. This video is sponsored by Argama Hobby, Canada's store for Gundam and other anime-related model kits. From Pokemon to Star Wars to Dragon Ball and more, all can be available at Argama Hobby. They are proud to announce that Gaia paints are now available, so if you are in Canada or in the US and you want to get your hands on something unique, look no further than Argama Hobby. Now, back to the video. So we're back for another review. This is going to be a special 2 weeks where we're going to be talking all about Pokemon. For today's episode, we're not going to be talking about a singular kit, but on a line of kits, which is the Pokemon Model Kit line. So for the 2 people that haven't heard of Pokemon, please tell me you have at least heard of Pokemon Go. No? Alright. In 30 seconds or less, in the world inhabited by creatures called Pokemon, kids can become Pokemon trainers once they've had their 10th birthday and received their starting Pokemon from the professor in their region. This anime follows Ash, a 10-year-old boy training to be the greatest Pokemon master. A 10-year-old boy that continues to be 10 for the next 25 years. 10 years old with 25 years of experience. What every employer wants in 2021. Well, in other news, since we're all pretty much caught up and that's pretty much the gist of it, let's talk models. Now, there are 2 separate lines that Bandai has made. There is a regular Pokemon model kits line, and then there's the quick line. So, as you can tell from the box art of Riolu and Lucario, they're in a big, rocky terrain, and with the Mewtwo, you can see a big thunder background. So, with the regular line kits, you'll find that they have more dynamic posing, more poppy colors, and an overall cool look. So when it comes to posability, you can tell that there are actually quite a lot of joints. So for example, with the Pikachu, you can see that its arms move, its tail moves, and when you move the head, the ears actually move in their respective positions, which is actually quite cute. With the Eevee, you can see that the ears move, the tails move, the head moves just slightly, and its legs move, so you can honestly put it in a standing or a seated position. So here it is standing, and when you're pushing the legs, it actually sits in a seated position. The more complex ones are Lucario and Mewtwo. So with Lucario, you can see that its arms actually move in 2 sections, on its shoulders and in its elbows. And his head also moves quite slightly. And with the Mewtwo, its wrist moves, ankles, arms, and tail actually moves as well, so you can have it look like it's attacking someone. You can actually make a lot of dynamic attacking poses with the more complex ones like Lucario and Mewtwo. So you guys should experiment and see what type of poses you can make up. Now we get to talk about the quick line. So for the quick line, I have 2 kits for you today. I have the Pikachu and I have the Mew kit. So with these boxes, you can tell there's a very different feel to them, almost as if they're meant for you to take your time with them. So with the Mew, you can see a really cute doodles in the background, you can see the runners in the background, and on the side of the box, you can see that they're sitting on a desk. I think what Bandai and the Pokemon Company were trying to do is to make figure desk pets. Essentially little figurines that you would put on your desk at school, or at work, or maybe on your own personal desk in your room or home office. With these, you can tell that they all have the same pose. So with these quick kits, there's actually no posing at all pretty much. So with the Pikachu, you can see that its arm doesn't move, ears don't move, and the only thing that moves is a tail. So with these quick kits, the only thing that will honestly be moving is its tail. You can tell with the regular Mew that I have here, its arms don't move, its feet don't move, and only the tail moves. And the shiny Mew will be the same thing. So if you want a more figure-like experience, the quick kits would be the way to go. Now, there are also kits that Bandai has made and haven't been brought over to the US. I thought that there were only a few. Turns out there is a lot that they didn't bring to the West. And the ones that they didn't bring over, I absolutely want and need in my life. Xerneas and Diancie? Yes please. Suicune? Hell yeah. Cyndaquil line? I literally have the plushie in my room. It is my favorite starter. There is no question. Zoro line? Hell yeah. Scorbunny and Piplup quick kits?
Shut up and take my money!
So clearly I like Pokemon. Clearly there's a bit of bias here. I've watched the anime since I was a kid. I've played the games. I've even completed the Pokedex of 2 of my games. But honestly, these kits are very well built. If you want more articulation, I would suggest the regular kits. If you want a more figure-like experience like the Figurized Labo that you guys saw in my first episode, then the quick kits are a good way to go. Then there's no worry about joints, and things fit where they're supposed to. It's really hard to get these kits wrong. Now, what about customizing? What can you do to customize your kits? There's a number of ways to do this, but the most simple way is to paint them in their shiny variants. I should probably explain what that is. So, for those of you that don't know about shiny variants, when you play the game, you'll mostly never encounter a shiny. A shiny is essentially a color variant. When you play the game normally and you're not actively looking for them, you'll most likely never encounter one. Because the shiny encounter rate is 1 in 4,096. And this is for Sword and Shield, the most recent game in the series. That's 0.024%. I thought gacha games were really bad. Mew is a very good example of this. I painted a Mew in its shiny variant in blue. Some will have more striking color changes than others. Gengar is a very good example of this. If you want to go a bit farther, you could do different versions. Pikachu, being the mascot, actually has the most variants. We're talking wedding versions, Christmas versions, Chinese New Year versions. Hell, I think I remember seeing a Gundam version floating around the internet. From the super simple to the most challenging, there is a boatload of possibilities. So, that's it for today's review of Pokemon model kits. If you enjoyed this review, like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow us on our other socials like Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, and now Twitter. We have just recently updated our Patreon, so if you wanted to get more exclusive content from us, make sure you follow us on Patreon. Thank you again from our Gama Hobby for sponsoring today's video, and thank you to all of our patrons that let us continue what we do. So, until next time, see you in the next hobby sesh.